All right, trying something new. This is a review of the week. I'm going to go day by day. This is probably not going to be very organized or well thought out. It's 7 a.m. on a Saturday. Didn't sleep in, and I've never done this before. But with all that said, let's go ahead and start. Now, we had a huge gap up move in the yen going into Sunday. This is my plan for that Sunday. These are FX majors crosses, ags, and oil, so commodities, and the stocks and bonds. Now, you can see here that I was not looking to trade anything yen related. I had never traded a huge gap like that. I've never seen a gap like that in FX. I'm new to it, so I decided to hold off on it. But this yen move did cause other moves in currencies, and the moves in currency happened, but the moves in stocks wasn't really there. So to me, this was going to be a FX day, and I was looking at the Aussie. This gap here, we had an inside day, and it gapped down through the inside day low, closing with a green first hour. I was looking at the Aussie. I was looking at the British pound. Gap down. There was also an inside day. However, we had an inside week in play as well. There you go. You can see the inside week. And I wasn't sure if we were going to continue down into the inside week low, which I think is right there. Same issue on the euro. There was no inside day. The day prior, I think this wicked the highs. And I was also concerned that it might go for the inside week low, which looks like it did. So I ended up taking the Aussie. We have this green first bar, unlike on the other two tickers, and I used just the standard 24-period ATR base stop, which put my stop actually just at this low. Now, I was aware that that low might get run, and I'd be out of the trade before this gap closed. However, with the inside day low breaking and closing with a green bar, I figured this shouldn't really go that low if it's going to behave bullishly, which is something I pay attention to quite a bit. Is price actually behaving how it should be? If you think something's going to go up, it shouldn't really spend a lot of time either going down or churning sideways. It should just kind of go like this did. So my stop was there, and I'm aware that was kind of a level, right? This whole area looks like a level. So I was aware I could get wicked out here, but closed with a green bar. I got in right at the inside day low, and from there it's pretty simple. We got this bar, trailed my stop, and then I got out with the gap close. I'm aware could have held it to the inside day high, but again, I'd never traded anything like this in regards to the yen gap, so that was the trade. That was, I don't know, 1 point, oh, this is in dollars. 1.05 R, so nothing huge. I trailed the take profit per usual. Once it hits 0.2 evolving R, I start trailing on the 2 minute. At 0.1 evolving R, I'll trail on the 1 minute, and at 0.05 evolving R, I will just get out at the 1 minute close. I'll just hit market. Let's change that to R multiple. The other trade I took was Euro GBP. You can see we'd been trading at these kind of range highs here. That's from April, that's from July, and then that's from just the past month or so. Been trading at these range highs, made a shooting star, sold off, had an inside day, which held the shooting star low, and I think this is another inside day? No. This broke the inside day high just by a few pipettes, failed, again off that shooting star. So what I was looking to do was take that inside day high failure and ride it down to the inside day low. So that Friday low, or sorry, that Thursday low. So on the 4 hour, because the 1 hour looked quite messy, what you could see was that here's that original shooting star level. We held it pretty much to the pipette, one pipette off. That creates the inside day, and then we hold it again on Friday, which acts as the inside day high fail, and we create another shooting star on the 4 hour. So I want to get short at the low of this for a move to the inside day low, this Thursday low. I had risk on already on that Aussie dollar trade, so I didn't want to put on more risk simultaneously, so once I had risk off in that pair, I went ahead and got in long or short where I would have been short anyway, which was right around here. Happened to get the fill, got lucky, I guess. Got filled, went down, and then it kind of churned sideways, but notably it kept making lower lows for the most part. I did not move my stop that entire time. I think I may have moved my stop to the high of this candle just because it was not going down. It was not behaving bearishly. So I moved my stop to the high of this. This is a shooting star. In theory, we've tagged it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and made a shooting star. It should be done with that level, in my opinion. Get a late day break towards midnight Pacific time. Get the break, and we get into Thursday's low, wherever that is, right here, or right there. Trail the stop and all that, like I mentioned, and got out for around 1 hour. That was Sunday. Here is Monday's plan. Looks like I had quite a bit of stuff set up. Stocks and bonds, not so much. Looks like I was looking for longs. I was kind of hesitant to trade stocks because we were trading at these all-time highs, and yeah, we had short sort of an SS, no continuation, stops ran almost an SS. I wasn't really interested too much in stocks, and to me, the European stuff was just looking ugly. Yeah, we had a hammer on the DAX, not interested in it. Numerous rejections at the inside day low on Bund. It was just kind of ugly. FX was looking pretty bullish. I think that's what I was looking at, was that dollar looked bearish, wanted to get long the other currencies. To me, the euro looked the best. There you go. We had failed the shooting star and accepted the inside day low, closed with an aggressive hammer with the left and right. Let's go over here. So we're looking at kind of Monday. We're looking at somewhere around here, I believe. Right. There. There's the prior week's low. And we had ran it, closed up. So my idea was we could take this inside week low failure, and we closed with a hammer, and we could use this as a long entry. So I got long the last high pre-break. Right here, the break that went back above the left eye of the hammer, which lined up with the inside week low. So I got long here, with a stop down here. Could have put it below the hammer, I guess, and been sort of saved, but overall, I ended up getting out for half an hour as that level here went offered and closed down lower. So closed it for negative half an hour. And I think that was all I traded that day. I think it counted as a Tuesday trade because it came in at midnight or something. Let's see what traded here. Preempting inside day failure. Yeah, another one on the Euro GBP. So here was our inside day on Tuesday. And then Wednesday it came down. Now it was coming down into this hammer that had a huge thrust and no retest of the hammer high. And I believe that was also within, it was within the last week, or a weekly high pre-break with a thrust. So it was within a bullish week, and we had a naked hammerhead, and we're breaking this inside day low, so not too complicated. I bid the hourly here, that last high pre-break. I don't know if it can show for you guys very clearly, with a stop below. It was a maybe an excessively wide stop. I didn't have it here. I didn't have it here because that looked like a level to me at the low of this candle. Low of this candle looked definitely like a level, all these highs. So I put my stop down here. And was it a good move? I don't know. So I got in at 86.6 pretty much, and some IMAE was 1.2 pips. So not sure if that was the best idea, but I got out pretty much right at the inside day low. I think I trailed it once again. I think I closed it right on this hourly close. So above 0.2 evolving R, and then it hit that inside day low pretty much to the pip. Yeah. So hit that, kind of crapped out to new lows, and then it recovered later in the day. So good exit there. Nothing to really change. Right, Euro stocks. So this was an interesting trade. Let's pull that up, and let's actually pull up what I was looking at. 10-7. Yeah. All right, so this is what I was looking at for this, what is that, Wednesday? I think that's a Wednesday session. All these are in red because I didn't want to really get involved with any of it. Euro GBP, I was looking at getting long to complete that inside day sequence, so getting long at the inside day low after we created a hammer, like I mentioned. So we created this hammer off of the inside day low failure, and I was looking to get long right there. This was the hour, the last high pre-break that closed back inside the inside day low high, inside day low. The spreads were too wide here, so I didn't get in, and I saw an opportunity to get in on a rounded retest here. That would have given you a bounce and then eventually stopped you out. And then that is actually when my original entry would have hit right there. And that did end up working. There was a lot of patience involved, but I didn't end up getting in here. Again, to me, price should not have come back down and been retesting these lows. It should have been already going up, so I didn't touch it. So that was that trade that I did not take. And what was this? BTC. Yeah, there was a mean reversion trade that ended up not getting filled on. But everything else just needed more information. Needed a daily trap on the yen. Needed a rounded retest. I don't like if something's breaking out. I don't want to take it the first day it comes back, or immediately after it breaks out. So I ended up taking the Euro stocks trade. Here we go. That was not it. That was a trade I did not take. Right here, I believe. 10-7 was a long. A long off of 56.52. Right, this is what it was. So, market has been in this all-time high range for a while. We get this breakout a week or two ago. Beautiful breakout. And then it's been trending down, and the result of the trend down is it can't even get to testing the prior highs, and instead you get this bullish engulf day where we break the lows the prior day. We closed way up above, and within this bullish engulf, we have a hammer with a thrust. It's been untested. You see all these highs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 highs, and you can see it lines up with these lows. So, and this big wick. So in general, that looks like a zone to me. Something like that at the time kind of looks like a zone. So play this fairly tight. Entry at the hammerhead here. Stop, I believe, was down here. That sounds right to me, and I had to count for a spread as this was trading at super illiquid. Look at that hour. That's trading 2,000 contracts. Next hour, 430 contracts, 280. The liquidity doesn't really end up stepping in until about kind of 9 or 10 p.m. and really doesn't really get there until a euro open at 11 or 12. So I got long. It made this shooting star. Couldn't really move my stop. Made another shooting star, sort of. So at that point, I moved my stop to the low of the day. Again, price is not behaving bullishly, so I did not want to take a full stop out at this point on it. And then we get this thrust through, move my stop to the low of the thrust, and then I got out at the prior day's high evolving R rules. I originally had been looking for the weekly open. However, I realized I didn't really have stats for that. It did end up hitting it pretty much to the tick. Yeah, to the tick. But I was fine with the exit on that. I think that was 1.3, 1.4R, but in terms of dollar terms, it was a bit smaller as I did undersize it due to the liquidity and the fact for potential slippage. So that was Thursday. Was that Thursday? That was Thursday. And then one more trade was on Friday. Let's pull up the... This is actually funny that I ended up taking a loser. Again, not a lot was set up for me. We had Swiss. It had broken out. There we go. Swiss had broken out. This is the daily. It broken out of this area. Nice breakout. And I was kind of looking at that as the last high pre-break trap that we thrust through. So I was expecting there to be bids somewhere around this area. And that's where our last high pre-break is on the daily. On the bullet side, it's about 290-ish. And if you come down to the hourly, you can see you get a thrust through. And more importantly, if you come on the 4-hour, you have a hammer. So to me, you just rebid the hammerhead looking for new highs. And that actually works out super well because you have stops lined up. You have weekly stops right here, 0.4 pipettes, 0.4 pips, 4 pipettes. I ended up not taking it due to the Trump-China shit, but you would have gotten an opportunity to break even on it, I guess, if you took it. Did not take that. What else was I looking at? So did not end up taking the Swissy. Crude oil, yeah, that one would have been nice to get onto. I was actually pretty excited for that. That was over here. I had to throw it on the daily. So we'd been ranging in this sort of area for a couple months, kind of this 60, 66 area, which is not uncommon. Crude likes to kind of hang out around here. I'd managed to catch the short on the way down, just one day, that short, and then I was looking at this low, and we had not SFP'd it. We closed below that low. You get this kind of shooting star thing, then you get this day that moves up with a gap. That gap actually never closes, even during that wick. That's a 3-tick gap that remains open, but anyway, you get a hammer. Hammer gets no continuation. That's when it starts to get interesting. Instead of continuation, you get this shooting star, and then you get this move down. So we've closed below the hammerhead with a shooting star. Now you can target the hammerhead low, and added benefit is retail is going to be looking for the breakout here as you can get out of the short. So as everyone else is looking for this to crash down, you can get out of the short for some nice R. Now the hourly had no naked area. I wanted to short something like this spot, but it had been tested already. But if you go to the 4-hour, you can see a really nice naked shooting star. So I was going to short it here with a stop up above. So was that a $1 stop? Roughly 78 cents. Unfortunately, my friends were telling me that right around this time of day, top step was 97% long. So I never got the opportunity to get short, and this thing crapped out without me. So that was a trade I missed. And what I was looking at with stocks, we had the Russell and the CN was far, but Russell and YM were the two ones that I was looking at. Now for added confluence, the NQ had 3 drives to high. It's not pretty. Oh, that's YM. NQ. Not the prettiest one, but up, down, higher, down, higher, down again. Again, not the cleanest. This is a very bullish market, but in general, I was looking for once we got this third red day, I was looking for some sort of sell, either to kind of 24,900, or maybe if we're really being ambitious, 24,600, and anywhere down here, I thought it'd just get picked up for a bid, right? That's a pretty big down move relative to what we've been seeing as of late. So in general, NASDAQ, which kind of determines where the market is going, was looking like it had put in a top, and on the Russell, we had inside day failure, so we ran this high and closed down below. We almost took the inside day low that day. I ended up not taking the Russell because I wanted to short this bearish engulfing candle, the prior candle low, and we spent all night below this 94.9 spot. You can see this entire night just kind of flirting with it. 7 o'clock, 11 o'clock, so kind of that Euro Open, 2 a.m., 5 a.m. pre-market. So to me, you have a lot of stops lined up here. Maybe you could have waited to see this shooting star formed, got short pretty much at the range highs here. With that same original stop, the R would not have changed much. That could have been a trade, and then it crapped out on that Trump news. I ended up taking the Dow, only because the Dow has been very good to me historically. Also, check out this zone here. So the prior all-time high coming in at 46.69, so kind of this area. Kind of this zone looked like something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 daily highs, and then you can call it 10, and 1, 2, 3, 4 daily lows. So clearly an important zone or inflection point, and on that inflection point you get 2 daily lows, a double inside day with a shooting star thrust down below those prior all-time highs. And I was looking for a retest of that last inside day low, the shooting star low, retest, ping off the highs of this zone, and then go lower. I chose the aggressive entry, which was this hook over here. Idea was that was the high of the zone, so 24,800-ish, right? And you can see all these highs actually start coming in around down here. So the zone looks kind of like this in my head. That's your zone. Highs, 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 highs. Lows, 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 lows. So I got short here, stop up above. I was aware, could short here instead, and actually both those spots are also valid on the 4 hour. There's that hook, and there is the actual last low. I scratched the trade before it crapped out. Actually took a, what is that, minus 0.15? Minus 0.15 R on it. The reason why was because the NASDAQ and ES both had broken their overnight highs. We were trading at all-time high markets in general. So I'm a little bit fearful of trying to short it, especially on ES. ES technically had a couple times where it, quote, should have sold off. Look at this. You get a shooting star. Shooting star receives absolutely zero continuation. You get an inside day, and the inside day gets ran on both sides, and actually with a bearish engulfing goes nowhere. It goes bid, actually. That bearish engulfing low never gets tagged. The close instead, that kind of close area goes bid. This thing just doesn't want to go down, the general market. So I didn't really want to play it on the short side. And on that Friday, that's what it looks like. That's your overnight high at 92s, and we traded 07s, 06s. So it wasn't even a mild break of the overnight high, a quick little wick and move down. We had moved aggressively up. Same thing on the NASDAQ. We had an aggressive move above the range highs here. It traded 390-ish, 389, and the range or the overnight high was 355, and the all-time high is right there, 395. So the statistics were leaning strongly towards, you get your overnight high breaks, you're probably not going to break the lows, and especially on the Dow, going back to it, you had to get a considerable move at this point. At this point, this high's been put in, and if you're looking for new lows on the week, you're looking for a 376-point move down, and the ATR is 430 points. So yeah, it was within ATR boundaries, but you're fighting statistically a very improbable day. The overnight stat is quite strong on ES and NQ. When they break the highs, it's unlikely to break the lows. So you're fighting the larger momentum of the market being in a bull trend, and then you're also fighting the lower time frame statistics. So that was my week. That was a very long video. That was 25 minutes. This always shows it as a prior week, but a little over 4R. Worst drawdown was, I think, minus half an hour on Euro USD. Didn't really have a huge win. Nice little equity graph there. Nothing really to take note. Crazy. YM had a loser. I never lose on YM. Yeah, I think these were all really great trades. I think I stayed away from being overly ambitious, kind of played a defensive game. I forgot to mention that towards probably by Wednesday, I stopped really looking at FX pairs. I think I even mentioned it here. Yeah, I mentioned it on this Friday prep. All signals kept failing. So if you go to the Aussie dollar, look at this. On the daily, bearish engulfing, can't take out the swing low. Instead, this last high pre-break goes bid, and you end up closing with a hammer. Okay, you close with a hammer, you think, we'll get to these highs. Maybe we'll run some of these highs. Nope, kind of gets close to the highs, to this open, craps out with a bearish engulf. And the bearish engulf is by, what is that, like half a pip? Yeah, it's 6 pipettes. So to me, this was just not in play. To me, this is just, it's chopping around. It's just a low probability sort of scenario. I didn't want to touch it. This does not attract me. So I think I was good about avoiding stuff like this. That was a week. I don't have really much to add on that. But hopefully in the future I can make this a lot shorter than 30 minutes and instead get it down to something like 10. Sounds about right. I did miss this mean reversion trade on CL on Friday. You had these beautiful range highs from June 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, blows through them. My idea was you could take this either long like this, long here, stop down there, 17-cent stop, as that is what broke through, but you would need to have a take profit at this low here, and then the risk reward doesn't pan out. The other trade, which looks like Dante ended up taking, was to get long at this last swing high, stop down here, and then get out. I imagine was these range highs or that last low there. My trade instead was looking at it on the 4-hour. Very clear on the 4-hour. You have this kind of hammer, bid the hammer high, stop below the thrust, and look for a move to these range highs. The R would have been great, and it came pretty close. 59 to 40 was the entry, and on the 30-minute, it got close. It came 17 cents away. Dante didn't get a fill. My buddies who were more aggressive, they did. So that was the week. Oh, shit. I keep saying that was the week, but there was also one other trade that I was looking at. I didn't end up taking. Was this. Highs. Blow through the highs. On this day, you blow through the highs. And I was looking at taking a retest of that last high pre-break, which is right there. Sorry, I was going to use this swing high. And they stop right below. So this trade, before this inside day setup, was looking like this. That would have been your trade of the week. You would not have gone filled. I know you wouldn't have gone filled because Dante didn't get filled, and he was also trying to buy 63. Get filled right there. Maybe you don't. Who knows? I don't know how many actually traded on the bid. Chops around into the close. You'd have to hold it through the gap risk, and then pretty much just goes straight up. You never really get an opportunity to get stopped out. It just goes straight up. So that would be a 10.5 R trade. I think that was actually it. I think that's all the trades I was looking at. I knew DAX ran the all-time high. It SFP'd it, but we had a hammer below and we're trading all-time highs, so I avoided it. After that FTSE move, Euro stocks move, I had nothing else. Wasn't really interested in stocks for the majority of the week, just given that we were trading at all-time highs. I was waiting all week for this ZN trade to work, the inside week high to get blown, or the inside week low, and fade it off this weekly shooting star. Of course, the Trump news, that fucked it. We talked about the pairs, and I think that was it. All right, 30 minutes. I hope you guys watch this on 3x speed.